What if I told you that there was a 402-acre all-Muslim compound in the state of Texas? What if I told you that the man behind the compound is a radical Islamist who, according to his own account, was placed on a terrorist watch list? What if I told you that that compound is now being investigated and accused of trying to enact Sharia law on Texas soil? You may not have to go all the way to Europe to find these no-go zones. They might be right here in Texas. Allow me to explain. Welcome back to Come and Take It. As I just mentioned, there is a 402-acre Muslim compound being built in Collin County that is outside of Plano, Allen, Frisco, that area just north of Dallas-Fort Worth, of that metroplex. And this compound is being built by the East Plano Islamic Center, also known as EPIC. Now, I want to play for you some of their original promo when they announced that they were building this all-inclusive compound. Watch.
Welcome to Epic City. Nestled in the heart of Josephine, Texas. It is about 20 miles and 20 minutes from Epic. Commercial areas.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Welcome to Epic 2.0. Epic City is more than just a neighborhood. It's a way of life. A meticulously designed community that brings Islam to the forefront.
Well, there you have it, right? Over 1,000 homes, commercial areas, shopping centers, Islamic schools, segregated, by the way, boys and girls, K through 12, Islamic community college, a mosque, anything you could ever need to be a Muslim in the West. Oh, and by the way, there are the lots, all of these lots, they are open to non-citizens as well. Isn't that interesting? That's an interesting little tidbit that they note, or at least that they did note, on their website. According to the Dallas Observer, the project's website previously read, before it was changed mysteriously, that's crazy. It said, realizing that many responsible citizens of other countries might be interested in our properties, our offering is open to any person we approve within the property and investment laws of the United States. We will limit sales to only persons we believe will contribute to the overall makeup of our community and are legally eligible to invest and buy property in the United States. So what that's saying there is, of course, we promise we're following United States investment law. But if you're from another country, if you're from a Muslim country, if you are looking to commit any sort of, terrorist acts on American soil, and you're from another country and you can invest here, you could do that as long as you are Muslim, is really what that's reading to me. Maybe I'm just thinking outside the box. Maybe it's just me. You tell me in the comments. We will limit sales to only persons we believe will contribute to the overall makeup of our community is I don't know. That's basically saying if you ain't Muslim, you ain't getting a house here. And that sounds a whole lot like discrimination, doesn't it? Which is why the state of Texas is now investigating the project for Fair Housing Act violations. See, because you can't just sell houses or not sell houses to people based on their religion. You can't say, just as I couldn't say, oh, you're a Muslim, you're not allowed to rent that house down the street. You also can't say, oh, you're a Christian. Oh, you aren't a Muslim. You can't actually rent that house down the street. That's not fair. According to United States law, which is what we operate under here in this country, Texas law, which is what we operate here in this state of Texas. And so you have the state now investigating this compound, which I don't even understand how this place was even How did they buy the land? Who allowed that? How were they able to fly under the radar? How were they able to get as far as they have gotten now, where they are boasting that they have this Islamic entire community, that they are going to now bring non-citizens? They're going to now bring people from other countries here, not to just this country, but to this state, to the state of Texas, to participate in Islamic way of life, I guess. And so you have this investigation going. By the way, you also have Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is investigating the compound for potential consumer protection violations. And also on top of that, Governor Greg Abbott announced that this place had been sent a cease and desist letter from the Texas Funeral Service Commission, because this place was apparently, according to what he posted, this place was allegedly operating an unlicensed funeral home. So you watch the promo, you see what they're developing, you see that they're doing it in Texas, you see that their project's website, at least at one point in time, boasted that it was only open to people who fit a certain criteria, okay? And you have to wonder how in the world this has been allowed to get as far as it's gotten. But there's another issue at hand here. All right. And that is whether or not this compound plans to enact Sharia law, because, of course, Sharia is directly from the Quran, which is the Muslims' religious book. Okay. So from their own religious book, the code of conduct is Sharia law. It is directly from their religion. And for those of you, I have a feeling that most of you who are watching already know about Sharia law. I don't need to educate you on Sharia law, but Sharia law is not conducive to America's way of life. Okay, it includes
No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
child marriage. It includes forced marriage. I'm sorry, I think they call that arranged marriage. Forced marriage, honor killings. Women don't have as many rights as men. Oftentimes they can't drive, they can't go to school, they can't be out in public without, their husband. I mean, there are a lot of very strict rules. You go and steal something, you get your hand cut off. There are very strict rules that are not conducive to the American way of life when it comes to Sharia law. And that is directly from the Quran. So you have to wonder, you guys are building an all-inclusive compound and asking non-citizens to come live here, and you're clearly billing it as a Muslim way of life. They've got parks, they've got a place of worship, they've got they've got everything that they would need right here. All right. So you start to look at this and you start to think about all of the accusations of whether or not this compound plans to enact Sharia law. And you think to yourself, how do we actually know what the intention is behind this Islamic compound? Okay, well, perhaps we should look no further than the man behind the project, the leader of Epic, the East Plano Islamic Center, Yasir Qadhi. I'll just let him speak for himself, okay? After the October 7th terrorist attack on Israel, he called Hamas his own while also refusing to condemn what they did. Watch.
Do you condemn the terrorist group Hamas? I will only condemn if we fairly condemn all sides. The minute you want to fairly condemn, I will be at the forefront condemning my own. No problem. But if you're going to be selective in your outrage, and if you're going to pick and choose who to condemn, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to play according to your rules.
And now, if that isn't enough, all right, if that's too nuanced for you, if it's too nuanced to say, I think that it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's not so black and white that he can't just condemn a terrorist attack on innocent babies, innocent children, beheading innocent babies, raping innocent children and women. Maybe that's not enough, okay? Maybe that's a bridge too far for some of you who might be saying, well, listen, this is a nuanced issue. We don't know the history. This is a conflict that's dated back. We can't really judge. Okay, I'd say you're very wrong, but let me just show you some more about who this guy really is. Because here he is saying, you're not actually a good Muslim unless you live according to Sharia law, not American law. Throw democracy out the window. You are not a good Muslim unless you live according to Sharia law. Watch.
Allah is our judge. He knows what's best for us. So we have to beware of following in this path of those people. Because unfortunately, we have many Muslims today who are influenced by this. And they'll say, okay, we'll take the laws of worship. We'll pray 5 times a day. We'll give the zakah. We'll go for pilgrimage. We'll fast the month of Ramadan. But as for family laws and the economic system and the punishments, I don't have to follow that. This is the modern world we live in. We're not living in the 7th century anymore. We're living in the 21st century. My dear brothers, is the Allah of the 7th century any different of the Allah of the 21st century? It's the same. Has the message of Islam, was it meant only for the 7th century? Was it only meant for a certain time and place? On the contrary, the religion of Allah, or the religion that Allah sent down, is an eternal religion until the day of judgment. To believe that it is permissible to follow a way of life, to follow a system of laws other than the Sharia, negates one's testimony of Islam.
So you tell me.
News and analysis on what's happening in Texas. End your day with daily headlines from Texas Scorecard. Every day at 5 p.m., join me, Brandon Waltons, as we recap the biggest stories of the day and talk about why they matter to you. From the state capitol to town hall, there's no shortage of events happening. Keep up with it all. Watch and subscribe to Daily Headlines from Texas Scorecard.
You watch those videos and you tell me, do you think the architect of this entire center, this entire city, they're calling it, you think the architect of this entire compound who just said, yeah, democracy sucks, Sharia is the only way, is planning on implementing Sharia law? Do you think that this person is planning on implementing Sharia law within the confines of this compound that he has created? Because it sounds a whole lot to me like he just said, no other way of life, no other way of law is acceptable if you are to consider yourself a Muslim. Sounds a whole lot to me like he just said the quiet part out loud. And now he has an entire lot, over 1,000 homes, that he plans to enact his vision. Okay, again, I'll let you decide. You let me know in the comments what you think this man plans to do with this compound.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Now, Governor Greg Abbott said in response to the funeral operation cease and desist letter, he said when he posted it, he said, this is the tip of the iceberg. We are uncovering legal violations by Epic City that go far beyond what people realize. The proposed community will never see the light of day. More to come. And in a separate statement, a separate social media post, he also said, to be clear, Sharia law is not allowed in Texas, nor are Sharia cities, nor are no-go zones, which this project seems to imply. Bottom line, the project as proposed in the video is not allowed in Texas. And of course, he is referencing the video that you partially just watched, explaining that this is Epic City. Look, you don't even have to leave this compound to live an Islamic way of life. Just live here. We've got Sharia law. And so it's sad, but it shouldn't be surprising that all of these, these radicals, whether it be radical Islamists who intend to enact Sharia law here in this country, here in this state of Texas, whether it be the radicals who want to have men dress up as women and twerk in front of young children and call it art. Remember, they're calling it art. Drag queens performing in front of young children while sexually explicit music plays in the background is just called art, according to these radicals, okay? So whatever radical it may be, they are choosing Texas for a reason. And I feel like I shouldn't be surprised at this point because that's just been kind of the MO. But every time I'm a little bit taken aback by the fact that they don't go do this in Minnesota. Or, I mean, listen, I'd prefer if it didn't happen in this country at all. But if you're going to do it in this country, there are a lot of other states that are more inclined to accept this radicalism. Not Texas, which again seems to be why they're doing it. That's the point. So Texas State Representative Nate Schatzline is asking the Texas House to ban Sharia cities and ban Sharia developments in a press release. And he cited HB 45, which was passed in 2017 and ensures no foreign legal code supersedes our Constitution or Texas law. Now, you would think here in the state of Texas, it shouldn't be too much to ask to ban developments for a group of people whose religion teaches them that they need to wipe out our very existence and our way of life. You would not think that that would be a bridge too far, okay? Because this extends way farther than freedom of religion. This is not what our founding fathers had intended when they built the principles upon which this country was founded. So it is my hope, it is not my expectation, it is my hope that Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows will take this up, that they will do something. It is my hope that Governor Greg Abbott will do something. It is my hope and also my expectation that Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will do something with the power that he wields, because he seems to be the only one who has the chutzpah to do anything. Like at any given day, time, place, it's only General Paxton who's actually going to do something. But these state officials need to stand up and say, we are not going to allow entire developments for a group of people who want to, it's not lost on me, want to glean, want to, leech off of our way of life, our existence, our capitalistic society, what we've created here in the Western world. They want to leech off of what we've created here in the Western world, but they also want to not allow our right to exist. Isn't that interesting? So you would think that that would be easy to do here in the state of Texas. We'll find out just how easy it is to say, no, you're not doing this in the state of Texas. If you want to do this, go try somewhere else more radical, not here. You'd think that'd be easy. I guess we're about to find out. All right. Now, there's a lot more I think that is going to happen with this particular city compound. This is just kind of the tip of the iceberg on this. And so I wanted to lay all this out for you, let you know, to have this on your radar. We are staying on it. We will not stop watching what happens to this, because accountability needs to happen. Action needs to happen. And the governor is tough talk here in saying that this project will never see the light of day. Okay. We're going to make sure that he follows through on that. So that's where we're going to leave it this week. We will stay on it and bring you the latest, and we'll see you next time on Come and Take It.
Be sure to subscribe to Texas Scorecard on YouTube and click that bell to ensure you're a real Texan. If you liked this video and want to see more citizen-driven journalism, be sure to click like and go to TexasScorecard.com to read about all things Texas. Texas Scorecard, real news for real Texans.